Hey guys, I'm Alvin. Welcome back to our UK podcast, a podcast where we use our voices and hopefully to inspire you to use yours too. And today we have a very special guest. She wears many hats. She's a podcaster. She's an MC and also Swifty and also what else? Influencer. What
You're
else?
forgetting like the main one.
Radio announcer.
Yes, radio announcer is my main thing. So.
Welcome, Calista. How's your day today? Productive?
Pretty chill.
Pretty chill?
It's been a while since I had a chill day, so it's good. And now I'm just like sitting on a couch lounging with you. So
Okay, one question. Have you been on other people's podcasts before?
you know what? No.
No?
This is the first time like the roles have been reversed. Usually I'm the one asking the questions. Yeah.
Now I
Exciting.
feel pressured. Now I feel super pressured.
You're my first podcast. Oh my god, I love it. Okay.
Okay. So do you remember when did we first met?
I remember you were opening for a Korean artist named James,
James.
and we met backstage.
Yeah, okay.
It was probably
Well,
like
that was a long
5
time
years,
ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago? 5. 5, 6,
2018, I
18.
think. Because it was one of my very first things. I remember being really nervous to host it. And that's why I asked Keanu to come and be my co-host. It was
yeah, I
supposed to be
remember
just
Keanu.
me. Yeah, I was really nervous. And then I met you backstage and luckily everything went fine.
Yeah, I think I was pretty nervous that day too, because like I was doing like a performance thing.
There were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit of your backstory.
Where would I start? I was born in the UK. My mom's from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Basically stayed there till I was about 7. Then I moved to Sabah.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad's Sabahan Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the interesting part was when I first moved here, I got thrown into like a Chinese school.
So you can speak Chinese?
I can speak Chinese now. There were 2 years of my life that I had no idea what was going on at any given time because I didn't speak the language, and it was a proper Chinese school. Nobody spoke anything else.
But how did you pick up the language? Because like everyone else already know Chinese, right?
I don't even really remember the transition. Like I remember not knowing anything, and then in primary 2, my teacher was like, "No, if you need to go to the washroom, you need to ask me in Chinese." So the only thing I remember is scrambling around the class being like, how do I say it? How do I say it? Lao so ya sang tzu so. And then finally I could go and pee.
But were your classmates helpful though? Like were they nice or like were they?
To be honest, I don't have a lot of memories.
Okay.
But I don't remember anyone being particularly mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
good.
I didn't understand. So I don't know.
Good,
But
that's good.
everyone was pretty okay. Yeah. But I don't remember the transition. I remember not knowing how to speak, finding out how to say I need to go to the toilet, and then being able to be fluent in the language. So it was a very weird transition. Yeah.
Like magic.
Kind of. I feel like that happens a lot in my life. Like I go from not knowing something to doing it every single day a lot. Like even with radio. Like I used to have really bad stage fright.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was that one that if you put me on stage, I'd halfway freeze and have to run off. So if you asked me if I would be a radio announcer when I was younger, the answer I would just laugh. There's no way.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I used
here
to
we
have
are.
stage fright too. Like I couldn't even bear to like stand in front of a group of people. Like when I have to like present something or like
It's
when I say
hard.
something. Like when someone invited me to like say something. Like for example, my birthday celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone just look at you. I just feel tense.
Yep.
Like make your wish. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know what should I say? No, a friend asked me to be her, especially Chinese weddings, you always have someone who gives like a wish to a friend during like a wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my friend's like, you're a radio announcer, you're an MC, you do it. It was so difficult for me.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm on stage, I have to put on a different mask. I have to,
different persona.
yeah.
Well, you have to because it's not really you. But are you always this like talkative? I mean, like as in like you are very good with your words and stuff like that, or you just like even
I
with your
wouldn't
friends?
say I'm good with words. I say I like to talk.
You
Like
like to talk about the things that you like.
I've noticed I'm always the last to leave anyway. So when they were like, "Oh, you want to do this podcast? Like, if you don't have enough to say, don't worry, we don't have to fill the time." I was like, "That's not going to be the problem here. You're going to have to ask us to shut up."
Okay, so back to your childhood. I mean, like, because you're a mixed child, right?
Yeah.
So did you notice any differences? Or growing up, being neither here or there, like, does it make you feel anything different than other people? Or did you get like different treatment? Or like you feel like...
I feel like you definitely don't fit in anywhere. Like for me, it was always like I'm too white to be, fully Chinese, but I'm also too Asian to be fully white. And like your thinking is always different. There's definitely parts of me that are like super Asian, but there's also parts of me that are like super Western as well. So it's like there's parts of you that are accepted and parts of you that people just don't really get, I feel. Yeah.
Then how do you like take care of the sort of feelings? Like how do you just ignore them and just be yourself? Do you still have that problem right now? Like do you still have this scenario?
Yeah, I definitely deal with a lot of feelings where I don't fit in. Like I feel like I'm never anywhere I kind of belong. But I guess the good and maybe bad part is I'm also kind of I'm prone to living in my own bubble. So like sometimes a lot of things happen I don't even notice. So I can be kind of oblivious. Like I'm that person who won't notice when like things are happening. Like when you're younger, like, oh my God, did you see that guy was like looking at you? I didn't. I did not see that guy was looking at me. I did not pay attention at all. So I think not belonging, but also being able to just live my life has been kind of like a blessing in disguise. It's only when something particular comes up then I'll notice it.
Like right on your face.
Yeah.
Then you have to deal
like
with
if someone says something, Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite. I notice everything.
That
It's
must
very
be
exhausting. It's like every single thing. Like even like a small gesture, I can roughly tell like what's that person is feeling. And like if they like me or don't like me, I probably can sense.
See, I can tell like so if we're talking like the bubble is here. So like anything that's happening outside, I'm probably not noticing unless like somebody drops something or somebody like just runs across and appears in front of me. Like other than that, I don't notice anything. But in this bubble, like when you say something, like I can tell like what you're feeling or whatever.
But I can go to the extent where we are like, for example, eating with a big group of people. Like in a restaurant. I can tell from far with that person whether he likes me or not.
No, so usually I'm very focused on the person that I'm.
I mean, I wish I could be like you.
Yeah.
Like life could be more simpler and happier. Probably.
I can imagine that. Yeah, I think like, especially like in this day and age, because everyone's doing so many things. Like overthinking is a problem for a lot of people. I'm not saying I don't like. I definitely like overthink a lot of things, but I'm also able to block out a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger brother.
Younger brother.
Yeah.
So is he like what is he doing now?
He's in jewelry. He's in the jewelry line. He's a manager.
So he lives in KL now.
Yeah, we're both in KL. Yeah, we're both very close. So
very close.
Very close.
So your first job, right after uni, is hits? Or like you tried something else?
I didn't go to uni.
You didn't go to uni?
I didn't go to uni. So I told you I was born in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So there were like a lot of issues, and I only got my IC when I was like 22 years old.
23 years old.
22.
22.
So like I wasn't able to go to uni. So there was like a big 5-year gap in my life when everyone was like kind of moving on, and I was kind of just like floating around for a while.
So you have been using your UK passport or something?
See, I couldn't do that because if I got my UK passport, I wouldn't be able to get my IC. So I was like in this limbo where I wasn't able to do anything. So I also feel like that's how sometimes I feel like I don't act like the people of the same age because like my life kind of started 5 years later. Like there was this 5-year gap. So when everyone was finishing uni, I just got my IC.
Okay.
And that was the first time I was able to leave Sabah and come to KL and
so
like
you
that.
started working right after high school?
Yeah, I was doing like part-time stuff. But I basically fell into doing events.
Doing events? Like emceeing?
Organizing events, but that's how I had to start emceeing because like you do events and like, oh no, we don't have an MC. You do it. It was the worst because, like I said,
But
I
why
had like
does it have to
stage
be
fright.
you?
You've got good English.
Well, okay.
It was. I mean, I'm grateful for it now.
But did they pay you extra though?
Of course not. It's part of your job scope. Also, don't forget, like I was like literally part time. I technically was not supposed to be working because I was technically undocumented. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But how do they pay you? Like, didn't they have to ask? Oh yeah, cash. Yeah, you didn't pay your taxes.
We're not gonna talk about that. But
so-
yeah, I mean that was like when I was like 18. Because I also went to Chinese school, so I finished SPM at 18 instead of 17.
Okay.
So yeah.
Chinese school. Oh yeah. Okay, that's another year. And then how did you ended up being a radio announcer at Hits?
Through a friend actually, because my friend had been telling me to try out for Hits Sabah at that time, for like 4 years, and me being mean, I procrastinated for 4 years. He was gonna carry on, but he was like, "We need someone now. Someone's leaving. I want your demo in my email by tomorrow afternoon." I was like, "Okay, fine, chill."
So your friend was working.
He was an announcer on Hits Sabah as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had brought it up multiple times, like, "Oh, I wonder if I could do it, you know, do you think I should try out?" But you know when you don't want to do something, like you just procrastinate.
Yeah,
And
all the time.
I obviously, just like everybody else, I don't like rejection. So I was like, if I don't apply, they can't reject me. So it was just that.
So you wait until they have a vacancy, then they were desperate, then you go in.
And no, I waited until my friend forced me. A lot of things in my life have been forced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first got in, like, what happened? Like, did you manage to just nail it?
Oh, I definitely wouldn't say that. Like,
I mean, like, I want to hear like more stories about like that period of time. Like, is there any, like funny story? Is there any moment that where you feel like embarrassed or like?
of course. Like, okay, you know, like Hits used to have gotcha calls. So when I joined, I think it was the first month. I don't even know what happened. Somehow I went off air, which is obviously a no-no in radio. And basically it wasn't my fault. It was something to do with the engineering side. But they used it to try and play a gotcha on me. They got the big bosses from KL to like call me and be like, "Oh, you know, like I can't believe you did this." Like they insulted me, like saying like the manager. I told the manager, you know, like don't hire girls just because they're pretty. I was like,
that's sexist.
yeah. So they were doing everything they could to try and get a reaction, but because it was only my first month.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I know it's okay. Like, yeah. So, you know, if you want to keep your job, I want you to throw your manager under the bus. I want you to say like, "Oh, he said this to you before, or he did this to you before," and like, you know, then we can fire him and then you can keep your job. And I'm like,
did you go with it?
no. They picked the wrong person. Basically, that's why you've never heard the gotcha, because it did not go on air. Like I gave them nothing.
So basically, it's just fire.
I was like, yeah, it's okay. I've only been here for a month. It's all right. Maybe this is not for me. They're just like, what the hell?
So at the
You
end
give
of
up
the
so
call,
easily.
you didn't notice it was a prank call.
Towards the end, I did.
Towards
because
the
they were
end.
trying really, really hard to get a reaction. But yeah, that was not fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, how long does it take for you to get used to the panels and stuff? Because for me, it's too complicated. Like too many buttons.
But that's the thing though, like you don't need all the buttons. Like when
But
we
it's
go on
there.
air, it's just like you just press the same few buttons
On air,
every day. Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, this is what goes on and off air. This is the one that like to play the sound effects. This is the one for the mic. That's
Oh, I always thought like you have to use every
no,
single
definitely
buttons on
not.
it.
No.
Ah,
So like
now
most
I
of
know.
the buttons, like honestly, we have panic buttons at the side, and honestly, I've forgotten how to use those. I've never used them before.
But what's the
So
panic
basically, it's like if
button
you
for?
accidentally swear and something you don't want to go on air, you can press a button and it dumps it.
Dumps
So
it right away.
It dumps it right away,
Even if it's like during live.
even if it's going live. So it'll just, if you press the button, it'll dump like 8 seconds of whatever was about to go on air.
Then you just go blank for 8 seconds.
No, it'll just like kind of skip.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
but I don't remember which one that is. So hopefully I never have to use it.
So you've never said anything wrong on air before? Never? Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, but okay, so like in general as a person, I don't really swear that much, so it's
Okay.
easier for me to stop things like that going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I swear a lot.
I think it's also
over
training.
some stupid
like
stuff.
we're technically told as soon as you step into the studio, you're not allowed to swear, just in case, because you never know. Like, technology
Accidentally
likes
press
to
online and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone's live streaming.
Yeah,
That's
or
a
like
lot.
sometimes
IG stories.
it's tech, right? Like something could go wrong.
That's
Like sometimes it might
scary.
not say that it's on air, but it is. Like we don't know.
So you have been on hits since which year?
I joined Hit Sabah in 2016 and then got asked to move to KL in 2018.
2018. So 2 years plus?
I was on Hit Sabah for 1.5 years, and like since 2018, so like this is my 6th year in Hits KL.
Okay.
National.
Okay. So what makes you want to move from Sabah to KL? Bigger
I've always
opportunities?
been like that. I think it's because I couldn't move for so long. Like as soon as I got my IC, I had my passport, my driving license. I
I'm a free
moved to
bird,
KL
bye.
for 2 years. Like I was gone. So I think that's one of the things that it's everything comes from somewhere, right? Like everything you do and every like whatever thought process you have, it's probably something from childhood or something that happened that maybe you don't even remember anymore. But it's always influenced. So I feel like me not being able to go anywhere has influenced my constant need to like go places now.
So before you got on your IC, you couldn't even go out of Sabah?
No. I couldn't go anywhere.
But you could have used your UK passport, right?
I couldn't have a UK passport. I was on my mom's passport as a kid, but I couldn't apply for my own because Malaysia doesn't recognize dual citizenship, right? So if I had gotten that, like it would have like hindered the process even further. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a very catch-22 situation.
So you haven't seen the rest of Malaysia until you're 23?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But have you been exploring Malaysia ever since?
Oh yeah.
You've been to every single state?
I don't know about every single state, but most of them.
Okay, Penang for sure. JB for sure.
Kelantan.
Melaka, Terengganu. Sarawak?
Yes. I actually came back from Sarawak like last month.
For what?
For Swiftie season, which we will get into, don't worry.
Okay. So is there any like, I don't know, because I always been like curious about this. Any paranormal activities happen in the studio before?
The studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely been things that have happened before in the studio.
I want to hear the tea.
There's been a few things. I feel like the one that stood out the most was when I experienced something and then the driver announcer experienced something and then the night announcer in the same day.
Same thing. Or like different...
was it the same thing? Can't remember whether it was exactly the same, but it was similar enough. But we never spoke to each other about it until it happened. So we all experienced like similar things in the same day.
So both in Hit Sabah and KL or just KL?
KL. It's Sabah. So the difference with, and I think, have you been to Sabah?
Yeah.
So I think the difference is in Sabah, like everyone is just there all the time. Like the culture shock for me when I moved to KL was like in Hit Sabah, like even if your shift ends, you're just in the office. Everyone's just hanging out all the time. But when I came over to Hits here, it's like everyone just does their own thing and then they go home. No one's really like hanging with each other. No one really sees each other after work. And
also I feel like because Sabah don't have much to do.
I feel like it's not that there's like not much to do. It's like we do it together.
Okay.
You know? Like we're always out. Like someone's like out at all hours, you know.
So you're saying you're not close with your colleagues in KL? Not that
some
close.
Some of them not. But definitely one of the things I noticed when I first came over is no one even offered to take me to lunch. Like I barely knew where the cafeteria was. And they were just like, okay, we're going for lunch. I'm like, oh, okay.
Am I invited?
Just like, okay, then. I guess I'll figure it out. Yeah, whereas if you go to KK, it's like, no one will leave you alone, basically.
But I also feel like the people from Sabah or Sarawak, they are more welcoming. Like, because every time when I go there for work, right, in terms of audience wise, like, you know, even like when I go to restaurants or what's or not, I feel very happy and very easy, and you can just be yourself. Whereas in KL, sometimes you go to a restaurant, you have to fight with the waiter or like call for them to come. Have to wait for the longest time. I don't know whether it's a culture thing, but shouldn't be what? We are all Malaysian.
I feel like, okay, in East Malaysia, it's definitely more chill. I guess like things are not as hectic. So, and like here, it's a very work hustle culture. Whereas like in East Malaysia, it's not so much. It's like I said, even if we have work, we do it together. Like I've definitely stayed in the office until like 10 p.m. just hanging out.
Maybe like in East Malaysia, like they don't treat work as work. They just
Everything has
treat,
to be fun, you know?
yeah.
Like there has to be an element. Like even when we have meetings, it's always like yamcha. You know, it's like we'll have a meeting in the kopitiam downstairs, or we'll go to like a cafe. It doesn't have to be in the office. It doesn't have to be so serious, you know? Which I get sometimes is a bit difficult. Like I have gotten like comments, like when people from KL go to like KK and do work, they do get frustrated because it's too chill. Which I totally get, I totally understand. But I feel like there should be some kind of middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, like here it was like when I first came over, especially, it's like I felt like nobody cared that you were there. And I feel like that is a culture, like nobody cares.
But I guess this is the same problem every big cities has.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially the capital. Like people just come here because they wanted more money, more opportunities. So it's always about work. And then after work, they just want to hang out with their own friends. They don't want to like see their colleagues anymore. They don't want them to be reminded of work and stuff like that. So maybe that was.
I mean, it's definitely a big city thing. And I think everyone's like more stressed here, of course, and everyone's just going on. Like, I mean, even I do it now. It's like, okay, I gotta go. I got something else to do, you know. Whereas when I was back in KK, I guess it's not as hectic. There's definitely not as many events. There's not as many like side hustle things to do. So yeah.
Do you ever miss your life back in the UK?
I don't really remember life in the UK because I moved here when I was 7.
But 7 is still like
I don't know.
nothing.
I don't
You don't remember anything at all.
Not
like
much.
your old house or like your childhood friends, nada.
Not that like bits and pieces, but not a lot.
Okay.
But also, I hadn't been back until last year.
Until last year.
So my mom had been away from the UK for 25 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was a really weird thing. Like when I went back to the UK, it's like I don't remember anything. Like none of this is familiar, but yet it feels familiar. I don't recognize anything, but the feeling was familiar.
So you have 2 shows on radio?
Yeah. So my main one is Hits, which is obviously based here in Malaysia, but I'm also on air on a syndicated radio station in the US.
How did it came about?
So during the pandemic, I started hosting these Twitter spaces about K-pop with this radio announcer from the US. So that went on for like a year or so. And then he'd mentioned it a couple of times that he wanted to start a syndicated radio station. And suddenly there was an opening. He was like, do you want to be my co-host? But we need to like start it now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Again. Right now.
Again. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's just demo it and see how it goes. So we demoed it. The station that he was pitching liked it. And this is the second year.
So it's like a yearly renewal contract or like a...
Yeah. I mean, just like even radio here, it's like contract basis. Like all the announcers are on contracts.
But the here is like 3 years or like 5?
Depending, 1 or 2 years. It's never more than 2 years.
Okay.
I think that's a legal thing, but yeah.
So what's the show in US called?
The Gluten-Free Radio Show, which is ironic for me.
Why?
Because everything I like is gluten.
So the show is literally about the things about gluten-free products.
No. It's just called, it's like, so in the US, radio works a little bit differently.
Okay.
Because there's so many radio stations. Like in Malaysia, like we have national radio stations. They don't. Like the most they get is like per state, but most of the time not even that. So that's why they have syndicated shows. So the same show can air like simultaneously or at any different times in different states. Yeah, so they have different names. Like they don't always just put their own name.
Okay.
And my co-host is gluten-free, so that's where he got the name from.
But what's the show about?
It's just a normal top 40 content show.
So any content that's interesting that you guys
Yeah.
feel like sharing, you guys
It's kind of like hits. It's very, very similar. So I definitely cross-use a lot of the content as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the topics and like sometimes the interviews and stuff like that.
How do you like balance both shows? Like, does the US show take up a lot of time of yours?
Okay, the US show doesn't take up that much time because it is pre-recorded. So it's not like I have to be like on hits and I'm sitting there for 5 hours. But of course I'm recording with my co-host and we're a 14-hour difference. So when I'm at work, he's about to get ready for bed. And when he finishes work, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for me. So what I have to do is I sacrifice my lunch break. So during what I usually would go out to get food and everything, like I'll record my other show. Or like on days where, because obviously we have a lot more public holidays in the US. It irritates him so much. He's like, what are you guys celebrating now? I'm like, diversity.
Like gluten-free day.
Yeah, it's just like, we have a lot, okay? So on days like that, I have to wake up especially to do it. Or sometimes like if we're both going to have a very busy week, we'll try to record most of it on the weekend. Or sometimes I stay up late. I'm a night owl anyway, so sometimes I'm recording a show at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Is it like once a week thing or like?
No, it's like a normal show. It's like we're on air from Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday?
Yes.
1 hour show?
5 hour show.
5 hours show?
Yeah, so we do have to like pack all the recording into one session just because it's very hard to match our schedules.
Wow.
It can be a lot. But it's also, luckily I get on very well with my co-host, so it's also always like a hangout session. Like when we're very busy, it's like, I really can't be bothered to get on right now. But like when we're actually doing the show, it's always fun. So it's okay.
But do you have to like create like external content to promote the show?
We don't do that much because also like we don't like hype on the fact that I'm not in country. Because
so the audience doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're that into non-Americans doing shows. So yeah.
But do you ever get to interact with the audience that like the show or something?
Some of them do follow on Instagram, like DM and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't hype on the fact that I've never even been to the US. So yeah.
Okay. Do you notice any difference between the show, like the gluten-free show and also the hits show? Like in terms of concept, in terms of like the way you host it, audience behavior, SOP of the station?
Their compliance isn't as strict as ours, for sure.
Isn't as strict?
The things they can talk about is definitely a lot more than ours. So sometimes he'll like start talking about something, I'm like, I think compliance for us is very like deeply ingrained at this point. So every time someone says something or does something, like alarm bells immediately go off. So sometimes he'll start talking about something like
you just go silent.
Even like sex or whatever, you know, like they can say the word, like we cannot, like there's no way. So like, or alcohol, things like that, like
smoking, cigarettes,
anything,
vaping.
They can mention brand names, whereas on like Malaysian radio we can't mention brand names
unless they pay you money.
Basically,
pay the station money.
Yeah, so things like that definitely. The music is a little bit different. Like the celebrities they talk about is a bit different.
Do you have to do your homework though, like on the celebrities that they're talking about?
Yes and no. Like if it's something that I'm not really well versed in, usually he'll take
the lead.
I'll just like react to it, or you know, have an opinion or something. But yeah, most of the time, if it's someone I don't know, like the biggest star right now is Morgan Wallen, who's a country star who we have never played a line of his music on the radio in Malaysia, you know, but he is on par with like Taylor Swift on the charts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you also have 2 podcasts.
I do.
One is called The C Word. Another one's called What Deba.
Wah Deba.
What Deba.
Wah Deba is the latest one. It's actually the brainchild of Michelle, who works in the Astro newsroom. So she is really big on K-pop, and then she asked if I would be her co-host. So basically, it's kind of like a weekly roundup of the biggest K-pop news. And sometimes we'll talk about like other things. Like one of the episodes we did was like Stan Twitter, which is like dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do like episodes like that, but mostly it's like the biggest headlines of the week. Yeah.
Okay. But do you have to come up with the idea creativity part of the podcast?
That one, not really, because it's kind of just like it's kind of like hits, but like expanded. You know what I mean? Like,
So you can actually share the same materials
yeah,
everywhere.
because I also have a K-pop show on hits, so it can kind of cross over as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take up a lot of your time recording all this stuff, like 2 shows and also 2 podcasts.
Yeah. I have a problem where I like to take on too many things. It has become a problem, but I enjoy it. That's the problem.
But do you even
I
have
don't
time
enough
for yourself or your boyfriend?
I mean, I have some time, but I find like, okay, I think that's the problem when you enjoy what you do. Because all the things that I enjoy, like going to concerts or like hanging out with people, like it's also work.
Yeah.
You know, so like the lines are very, very, very blurred.
But what about hanging out with your friends? Because like going to concert, sometimes you can only get like 2 tickets maximum, right?
Sometimes not even, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's only you yourself. So what about like balancing your work life and also your personal life, aka like for example, like with your brother or like with your close friends?
Well, I see my brother a lot, for sure. With other friends, I try to make time. Like, I'll try to like schedule like dinners and stuff. Because, okay, luckily, I am also a very energetic person. Like, I can go, 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 go. The only problem I have is waking up in the morning. But going to bed, I can go to bed anytime. It's not a problem. So I can always find time.
Do you work out?
No. No complaints about that. I hate working out. So
Like no exercise at all.
no.
Badminton.
The running around is exercising enough.
Well, I guess you exercise more than you walk more than any usual person.
You've been to Astro, right?
Yeah.
The walk from the car park to the office
Even
is
like
enough.
from the main door to the cafe, if let's say you have a guest
It's
coming,
so
you have to like
far.
welcome them at the main entrance, visit the car park there.
I get my steps in. It's okay.
Well, okay, fair enough.
And also, like, I really like malls. So
like what?
Malls. So
Mall,
I walk
shopping
around
malls.
the malls a lot. And like we calculated once, like if you walked around the entire KLCC, which I do, it is like 8,000 steps.
How often do you go to KLCC?
I'm in a mall a lot. Not always KLCC, but like I'm in malls.
And what do you do walking around? Just window shopping or
Yeah, window shopping. I'll just be like talking. My brother or whatever, whoever. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's
Don't judge
good
me when I'm
enough.
working out, but yeah.
And you are also a content creator on your own social media. And you
yeah.
don't feel exhausted at all.
There are definitely days that I feel exhausted. I think it's the lack of time that stresses me out more than like the actual work. It's because I always feel like I don't have enough time to do everything. Like the work itself is fine, I enjoy it. But like, yeah, when you got to record 2 shows every day, and then like maybe I've got a podcast recording the same day, and then I've got like 2 videos that I need to edit, and then we also have to do digital stuff for hits. Like sometimes when it all happens in one day, it can get a bit stressful. But like the workload, I'm still okay, I guess.
But what do you do to like just decompose and chill and...
I don't do that a lot. Yeah.
So you don't need that at all?
Not really. Like there's definitely days that I feel burnt out.
Like massage, facial.
Not much.
Netflix.
Unless it's like a content thing.
What are you made of?
I don't know. It's a problem. I know it's a problem. But yeah, like most people know, I don't really know how to chill.
Because for me, like whenever I feel stressed out or like I feel like it's too much on my mind, I'll just go to the beach and do nothing.
See, even at the beach, I'm filming something. I know.
Filming what, the surfers?
The sunset. I don't know.
The sunset. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I am very high energy, and I'm definitely very much an extrovert. And I noticed this especially during the pandemic. Like, I get my energy from being around people.
But
So
when you're
when-
by yourself, what do you do?
I was always tired during the pandemic. During lockdown, I was always tired because I didn't see anyone. But as soon as we got back, it was when we got back to the studio and I started hanging out with people again. That's when I realized, like, you know what? I need to be around people. I can't solo travel. I bore myself so much. I cannot.
I'm the complete opposite of you. Like my life was perfect during pandemic.
Oh my god.
And I can do solo traveling all the time, anytime.
Are you an introvert?
Yes.
Did
you tell?
Did you do the MBTI test?
Yes, recently I just did one. Mine is INFJ/T.
I don't remember. I think mine is ESFP or something like that. But it's basically
ESFP.
the entertainer. And my extrovert was like 78%.
78.
Yeah.
That's quite high though.
Yeah, so that explains a lot.
Okay. So are all your friends like extroverted?
No, I got a lot of introverted friends.
Hmm.
But saying like I like to be around people, I also like a lot of one-on-one time. So that's why I got a lot of introverted friends. So when I spend time with my friends, it's like one-on-one or like very small groups.
But usually the introverted people, like they don't speak much. They just listen to you.
My introverted friends speak a lot when you get them alone.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll probably need like a couple of drinks before I can open up.
I also don't drink.
You don't drink?
I don't drink alcohol or coffee.
Imagine if you drink.
Yeah, I think
Coffee.
that's why. God is like, no, you don't need it.
What about dessert?
I love dessert.
Yeah, probably from desserts. Because like sugars.
I am like the boba queen, so
Boba.
yeah, I can have boba every day.
Oh, have you seen the video about like someone drinking boba, 2 cups of boba every day?
Okay, I don't drink 2 cups. I have a little bit of self-control, a little bit.
So like
But I have
twice a week.
no, I definitely can go once a day. I try to stop, but you know.
Okay. But with the actual boba or just the drink itself?
I
Like
have to have boba. As soon as the boba is done, I throw away the drink.
Then you just buy the boba.
I can hear the at the back of me, you know.
So you are also a Swiftie.
Big time Swiftie, yeah.
So how crazy are you about Taylor Swift?
I feel like at this point Taylor Swift is my personality. Like, don't ask anyone around me about Taylor Swift because they're already sick of it.
They're already sick of it. So when did you start liking Taylor Swift?
It was definitely the Love Story music video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't as obsessed at that point, obviously, but I think throughout the years it's just grown and grown and grown.
Was it like a love at first sight? Like you like the song first and then you check out the music video? Or
No,
like you
it
watch
was
the music video first?
first.
Then
I remember seeing it on TV and I was like, it's my aesthetic. As this like child.
So ever since, how many Taylor Swift concerts have you been to?
None.
None? Okay.
I'm so sad. But
you're-
I am
you're
going to Eras Tour.
3.
Yeah, we
Eras
don't
Tour.
need to. I don't know.
Oh,
People
we
think I'm
have to
crazy.
announce it. You should be proud.
Hopefully I'm going to. Like, most of the time I've been able to compose myself through all the celebrity interviews for radio and stuff.
This is Taylor Swift.
You were there the time that I lost it.
When?
I've lost it once when I met a celebrity.
James?
No, Shawn Mendes.
Oh.
So that was like the non-professional setting that I met Shawn Mendes and I just like,
But also because
Froze.
he's like super friendly.
I don't even know. Do you even know what happened when I met him? I walked in, they opened the curtain, I saw him, I froze. I went in, I said, hi. I took a photo, thank you, and then I left.
That's it?
That's it!
Oh, I've done more than you.
I was
said
so upset
hi,
with
I saw you a
myself.
few times, and then he gave me a hug, and then we took the photo. I say thank you, hope to see you soon, and then I
No.
get out. No.
That's why from then on I was like, you know what? Every time I meet someone, I need to be in my professional mindset. Like this is an interview, this is work.
But when
I
you
can
get
freak
to
out
meet her on
afterwards.
the street,
If I meet her on the street, it might be a completely different
you
situation.
probably feel faint. You'll be like,
It might be
then you
bad.
lost the whole moment.
Yeah. Because like people always ask like, oh, how do you like keep yourself calm during celebrity interviews? It's like, I guess because it's work. But like internally I'm the biggest fangirl ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will lose it.
But you have to like start to put this in your mind though. What if you really get to see her and then you lost the moment, you're probably gonna hate yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I need to prepare myself and manifest that it actually happens.
And do a lot of rehearsals in front of the mirror.
I will try.
At least like memorize the things you want to say to her.
I mean, like interview bucket list, everything is definitely Taylor. I'm just waiting for I doubt Eras Tour, like any interviews will happen, but hopefully after that.
It's good enough just to say hi and get a picture.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, not everyone can get that. And what's your favorite thing about Taylor Swift?
For me, it was always her songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what made me like a huge Swiftie was the fact that for some reason, her albums always coincided with things that were happening in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So like when she drops Red, for instance, like the songs, what she was going through in the songs that she was writing about was exactly what I was going through. So it was like very relatable for me. And then after that, like 1989, Lover, like it all coincided like kind of perfectly with my timeline.
So you feel like you're living the same life's wavelength as Taylor Swift.
It's like she put my feelings into words.
She forecasts your future.
Yeah, basically. Basically. Maybe it was just like making my life based on an album. I don't know. But yeah, and when I was younger, I was really into writing as well. And I like the way she is able to put things into words and like, you know, the way she describes things.
So you feel like her songs kind of help you through your life? Sort of.
Yeah, and I just feel like the way she puts things in lyrics is very beautiful. It's like very poetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that kind of thing. So
for me, the one thing I like about her, it's like if you listen to a song, you sort of know what her life is like.
Yeah.
You sort of get the picture because in the songs she described very vividly like what actually happened.
Yeah. But I also like how she can play with words. Like there's a song called August.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when she says meet me behind the mall, like you can just take it as face value. But also it's about these two people that are dating and maybe their friends don't know. So also the same line is like meet me behind them all. So she does that a lot with her words, and it's just something like I like a lot, and I like it when I like hear songs like that for the first time. Like I don't know, are you a Swiftie? Like, do you listen to Taylor?
I listen to the songs, but I'm not like a.
Okay, yeah. You should listen to Maroon and like go through the lyrics, and then you'll see like I think Maroon is a song that you can really tell how she plays with words.
Okay, I'll check it out. But what's your thought about marriage first?
I'm not really bothered about marriage, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like,
so you never dream of wearing a wedding dress? Never ever.
So I always say like I want the wedding, but I don't really care about the marriage. Like I want to wear the wedding dress. I want the dress. I want the party.
You don't want you want a party, but you want the after party. You don't want the wedding.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I want to wear the pre-dress, basically. I want the dress. I want the.
But you don't want the I do, you do, and then kiss thing.
Yeah, not really bothered, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always say if somebody like you know you see those videos of people proposing at a Taylor Swift concert.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody proposed to me at a Taylor Swift concert, I'd be so upset. It's like you are ruining my moment. This is not about you. This is about me and Taylor.
But then again, you probably get Taylor Swift's attention.
I think so many people have done it though. And like if you do it in the crowd, like hello, like she's singing Love Story. It's not about you.
But what if you got Taylor Swift's attention and then she actually like, passed the mic to the guy and he proposed to you? No? Okay.
No. But also I feel like, okay, I don't I don't think proposing at your favorite artist concert is a good idea. Some people might like it, I don't know. But personally, I feel like if somebody did that, I would say no just because I feel like you don't know me enough. If you think proposing to me at a Taylor Swift concert is gonna make me happy, that means you don't know anything about me. And we should not be getting married because we obviously don't know each other.
Okay, let me switch it up. What if he proposed to you after the concert? He bought you the ticket, the most expensive one, and then pay for the whole thing.
As he should.
Still no.
After the concert, maybe, but I still feel like find your own special day. Don't ride on another. Like, I hate people who propose during birthdays, on Valentine's Day, on Christmas. Like, find a different day. We're already celebrating this day.
So you just want to add one more day for
Yes,
celebration?
like you don't get to like be a cheapskate on the presents. Okay, you still need to buy me both a Christmas and anniversary
Fair enough.
present.
Take note. Future husband.
They should know what they're signing up for if they're going to propose.
No, for sure they know. So what does it take to be a Swiftie? It looks like fun, but also like it seems like
It's a lot.
also take up a lot of your time.
Well, it takes up a lot of my time now because I am part of the group of people that organize the Swiftie
community,
events.
Like, okay.
Yeah, so we do this thing called Swiftie Season. And in 1 year, we've organized like 7 events. It
So,
never meant to, again.
so what kind of events? Like just like hanging out or like
So they're fun events. And it's like we basically get together and like sing along. There's best dressed. Everyone dresses up in their best like Swiftie outfits. And it's just like a space where it's a safe space for fans, basically. Because, you know, like sometimes when you like things like this or you want to sing along to songs like this, like in public, people are going to judge you. Or maybe you don't have friends who like the same kind of music or whatever. So it's a place where Swifties can just gather and have fun. It was never meant to be this big. It was literally supposed to just be an event. It started before me. So the founder of the fan page, T Swift Malaysia, Joe, he started doing fan meetups in like cafes, max 100 people. We decided to do one. Well, he decided to do one and he asked me to be part of it. And he was like, let's aim for 300 people. I was like, that's a bit ambitious. 15,000 people tried to sign up for tickets.
15,000?
15,000. Google Forms crashed. We had to start using actual ticketed websites and stuff.
Okay.
It crashed. Like, we had to do 2 nights in Rex KL. It was like 600 people for both nights. It was a lot. And then on stage, he said, oh, this was so much fun. You know, thank you guys for coming. We'll organize another one where she drops a new album. She announced the next album the next day. So within 2 months, we were doing another one.
Okay.
And then she announced tour.
And then another
So then
one.
we started doing another one. So yeah, that's why earlier on I told you I just come back from Kuching. We did our very first Malaysian Eras tour. So we went to Kuching and to KK. It was really great.
How many days was that?
1 day in Kuching and 1 day in KK. We decided we're only gonna do like one because it's very tiring to do 2. The first one we did 2 days in a row. The second one we did 2 sessions in 1 day, and we were dead. It was so tiring. So now we try to make sure it's only 1 session. But it was a lot of fun.
Do you guys have to ever settle any dispute amongst the fans or like, hey?
Not really. So far, we've been okay. I think the first stop, the KL stop of the Eras tour was a bit messier because a lot of non-regulars came. So like, but usually it's mostly the same group. So we have like a Telegram group as well. And the Telegram group has like almost 7,000 people. So everyone knows what's going on. Everyone knows the vibe. Everyone knows, you know, what to expect. But when you get, obviously, when the event becomes too big and you get outsiders coming in, there definitely were more problems. But it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the last one, the one we did in KL was 1,600 people.
You guys are nuts. Crazy.
Swifties are crazy. I've come to realize that. Like, I cannot deny it anymore. We are crazy, but we have a lot of fun. And what is life if not fun?
Yeah. But I guess you guys are really enjoying being a Swiftie. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to come and experience it, we're doing one for 1989.
I can, but I don't know what to expect though.
It's very loud.
But will they bash me for not like knowing all the
Oh, no,
songs
no,
and
of
stuff?
course not, no.
No.
We've gained a lot of new Swifties from these events. Because like people, like my brother used to be a Taylor Swift hater, not even
I'm
a
not
fan.
a hater, but
My brother was, now he is super
Okay.
Swiftie.
if anything were to happen to me, I'd say like I'm under Calista's protection.
I'll protect you, don't worry.
So does being a Swiftie make you more in touch with pop news? Like, or with or without being a Swiftie, you are already...
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm definitely pop girly through and through. Like even before radio, like I love following the award shows, and I just love pop culture. I love pop culture more than I love like the pop music.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about K-pop?
K-pop's new to me. It was definitely something that started during the pandemic. Yeah, but it's the same though. Like I'm not very well versed with K-pop in general, but I'm a fan of the fandom culture. Like I'm a fan of the fans. Like because they're very much like Swifties. They're very passionate. They do a lot for like the artists that they like. They, learn a lot. They do so many events for them. Like they'll celebrate their birthdays. They'll like do charity events on behalf or in the name of the artist. And I just like seeing people who are passionate about things. But other than that, it's just people doing things for things they love.
Yeah.
And like I think when you grow older, a lot of people look down on fangirls or fanboys. But it's like if you can be this passionate about someone that you don't know, you can definitely be this passionate about other things in your life. And I think that it translates.
Like a wedding. Just saying. And do you have any advice to people that wanted to be like you? A Swiftie, a radio announcer, podcaster, influencer.
My advice would definitely be don't take on too much at the same time.
Are you telling yourself?
Learn from my mistakes. It is a lot of fun, but I feel like it's an industry that it is very easy for you to get carried away. Which is something that I've been working on. Like, there are definitely people who know this because I put out a CSA on the radio for 3 years straight about not going to bed early and not getting enough sleep. It's been something I've been trying to work on for the past 3 years. I have not succeeded yet. It's okay. My failure can be your success. Learn the lesson. But if you want to get into the industry, definitely practice and don't say no to things that you think you won't like. Because that was me with radio. Like, I had stage fright. I would never have thought, like, talking for a living would be a thing. But now it's, like, my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. But throw back, 6 years ago, I would never have imagined that this would even happen at all.
Never say never.
Yeah. So I always, like, tell people, like, if there's an opportunity, just try. Like, you never know what could come out of it.
It's like in my case, I never thought I would host something in English. I even be in a Malay drama series. Because my entire life, like from a baby until I was in uni, I couldn't converse in Bahasa or English until I was 24.
I remember you telling me about this. Like, you never, you weren't really like that.
I can only speak
comfortable.
Chinese, Mandarin, like not even like other dialects.
So how did you get into the Malay scene?
I just try and then I learned and practice the language.
Interesting.
So, I guess never try, never know.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much.
Thank
you so much for dropping by. And thank you so much for tuning in also. Don't forget our new episode will be out by Wednesday, 9 p.m. on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. And we'll see you next time.